So I'm driving home from a chiropractor appointment. I never actually had it because I left. Because here's the deal. I show up, I'm in the parking lot, call them up. Oh, you don't have to call us ahead of time. Okay. So I go in, no signs up about masks. No one's wearing masks. I got mine on, but okay. But then I see it. An advertisement for somebody running for the local school board, taped to the reception desk so everybody can see it. Bullet points are constitutional rights, freedom of choice, blah, blah, blah. Taped to the desk at a reception of a freaking doctor's office. I mean, okay, chiropractor, they're not really doctors. But still, what the hell? Why do I have to make the decision to leave the fucking office because you are an idiot? I am so fucking tired of this. Fuck you. I'm going to commit a radical act. I'm going to speak the truth. America is great. The Taliban are terrorists. The Chinese communists are evil bastards. Christopher Columbus discovering America was a good thing. George Washington was an extraordinary national hero. Thomas Jefferson was an extraordinary national hero. Abraham Lincoln was an extraordinary national hero. Police officers keep us safe. Israel is our friend. The Wuhan virus came from Wuhan. And there is a difference between boys and girls.
Hey, W. Francine, can I ask you a question?
Sure, anything.
Why don't you go back to your own house and stop bothering us?
Hey everybody, this is Scott Pressler. Today, Tuesday, November 2nd, is Election Day. Virginia, I'm asking for your vote for Glenn Youngkin for governor. And in New Jersey, I'm asking for your vote for Jack Ciattarelli for governor. And remember, Pennsylvania, you have judicial races across the Commonwealth. And across the United States, we have local races for school board. In the past couple months, I've met with dozens of school board candidates, helping to recruit, train, and elect them into office. You see, the biggest difference between Democrats and Republicans is Democrats are about coercion, mandates, and force. Republicans, we are for liberty, freedom, and choice. And while the Democrats, while they want to push their mask mandates, their vaccine passports, their critical race theory in our schools and places of business, Republicans want to empower parents. We believe in parental choice in education and making sure that parents, not government, are dictating how to educate their children. This November, you have a choice. You have a choice between continued tyranny under Democratic rule, or you can vote for freedom, choice, and liberty by voting in conservatives. Please vote Tuesday, November 2nd, today, Election Day, for conservatives from top to bottom. And let's take back our country.
Every now and then, come and take my hand. For every little lie you tell so you can hide will grow inside your chest. Your heart will need to rest. So come into my arms.
I am freaking the fuck out. I literally just had to call the police on Nazis. I'm living in Austin, Texas. I've been living here for 5 years now. On my ride home, I just got home. I'm still in the car. I had to call the police on Nazis today. So this was my ride home. It says Henry Ford warned us about Jews. There was more people in the video. I was unable to fully capture it because I was driving. You know, when Biden had come down to Austin, Texas, and all those people, all those Nazis came then, right? I was driving on the highway and I saw them driving into Austin, and I didn't think of anything of it. I was like, oh, it's those crazy loons again. And then turns out they're the ones who drove Biden out of Texas, and now there's fucking Nazis. Like, I literally had to call the police on Nazis. This is America 2021.
Every fucking day, racism is on my social media. What kind of quality of life is that for me? Why should I have to live in a world for my son to grow up and see white people talking to me like that? And I'm supposed to tell him that these people are good? This isn't good. For me or nobody. Don't sit here and pretend that this is good for me or any black person to go through for every single day of our lives. And we have to hide. We should have to hide from online to avoid being verbally abused by racists. This is insane, and I cannot take it.
So, I don't mean to, alarm anybody or try to fearmonger, but hear me out. My fellow POC in America, we need to hope and pray to whatever God, arbitrary figure in the sky you believe in, whatever, that Kyle Rittenhouse goes to jail. Think about it. When you listen to a lot of, the shit that the right says on, forums, message boards, behind closed doors, it is very clear that they have, murder fantasies. And that they dream of the day in which a left-wing person will give them the means or the excuse to kill them. Like, we've seen the video that circled around of the guy asking Charlie Kirk, when do we get to kill people, when we get to use the guns? Like, Kyle Rittenhouse is gonna inspire a shit ton of conservatives and just general white supremacists to open fire on peaceful protesters and just kill people of color because of white genocide. Like, I'm legit scared, y'all. I'm legit scared.
It's Kyle Rittenhouse trial. It reminded a lot of people of something, I just can't remember what it was. Oh, the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, in which Brett Kavanaugh, who had been accused by a high school friend of committing sexual abuse of her, cried his way through the hearings to make him a permanent member and Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. And his tears turned out to be more powerful than the tears of Christine Blasey Ford, which were the tears of an alleged victim. But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like green waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears. So my friend Jahan Jones, who writes the brilliant The Readout blog, wrote a great piece about this. And if you want to read it, you're going to be able to read it right here.
Are you going to invite your unvaccinated relatives to sit at the dinner table with you this Thanksgiving? Experts are saying you might not want to risk it. Here's why. According to one expert from McMaster University, vaccines are super effective, but they're most effective when you're surrounded by other vaccinated people. If you invite someone who isn't vaccinated, there's a risk of having a breakthrough case. Now, breakthrough cases are pretty rare. There's only ever been about 8,000 in Ontario, but kids can't get vaccinated yet. So part of keeping those kids as safe as possible is telling that one uncle who chooses not to get vaccinated that he might have to sit this one out. One bioethicist said that that's actually the more ethical thing to do. She also said you should try talking to your relatives about how safe vaccination is. The best way to do that is to start the conversation from a place of respect and empathy. Say things like, I understand you're feeling pressure. I know you're freaked out, but here's why this is important.
McCloskeys are up in Kenosha supporting Kyle Rittenhouse at his trial. And if that name didn't ring a bell, it's these two assholes who gained notoriety in St. Louis after waving guns at peaceful protesters who walked past their house. Which, by the way, if you're ever wondering what happened to them, the asshole Missouri governor pardoned them. But all I'm gonna say is, if the McCloskeys are on your side, you're on the wrong fucking side. Rittenhouse is guilty as fuck.
Period. And for a trans man like myself, that is very traumatic.
Basically, it causes dysphoria, and it's a really awful thing to go through. I'm going to go up to people and ask if they have Midol, while my legs are dripping blood.
Do you guys have any Midol?
No. Ew, what? What? Are you dying?
Do you have any Midol?
No, man.
Do you guys by chance have Midol?
Hello, you're beautiful. I don't have any Midol.
You asked this forever ago. I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad you asked, and I'm gonna answer it now. Nibbling is just a gender-neutral term for niece or nephew. So if your sibling's child is gender non-conforming or non-binary, nibbling's a great term for them. If you are referring to multiple nieces and nephews, nibblings is a way easier way to say that. I default to it now because it's just...
Basically, she went to the store, Frog went to the store. It's her coat. It's Frog's coat. That's pretty much it. It's just Frog's self. So she, hers, herself. You know? It belongs to Frog. It's Frog's self. I don't know. And pretty much any other noun pronouns can be used like this, such as kitty self, or puppy self, or paw. Paw went to the store, it's Paw's coat, etc.
So I'm a cis woman with IBS, and I use the men's bathroom. And I've seen a lot of videos of trans men who are in public bathroom stalls with somebody in a stall next to them just farting and shitting and being gross. And there's some like iteration of like, oh no, I regret this. And it just makes me think about this time that I was in the Walmart bathroom just having a bad IBS episode in the men's bathroom. And I was the one just blowing it up. And it wasn't until much later that I noticed there was just a silent guy in the stall, after like 5 minutes of just me being disgusting, I hear like a little shift, and I'm like, and so every time I see those videos of trans guys talking about how gross men are in the bathroom, I never want to be invalidating, but I want to be like, what if it's a woman? It could be a woman, it could be me. What if it's me? It's me.
No, I went there to be helpful, like a humanitarian or Batman, because they needed me. And I wanted to practice my special skills as a lifeguard, like CPR and stuff like that. And for me, when you go to something like that, you really need to bring a gun, but not just any gun, an AR-15. And it's not like I was just carrying it around willy-nilly and irresponsibly. I just bought a special strap to keep it over my shoulder in case I had to bend over and help somebody. And I don't know why, at a racially tense demonstration like that, anybody would look at me, a nice, clean 18-year-old white boy with an illegally acquired assault rifle, and think that I look threatening. How could I look threatening? I'm an innocent, a babe in the woods, Little Red Riding Hood. But things didn't go down right, and something went bad, but I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, fuck off.